What's up, Grace Girls? Welcome to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast, where we focus on helping Black women change their lives by discarding negative thoughts, pivoting in the right direction, and shifting their mindset through cultivating a trauma free lifestyle. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen, educator, content creator, life coach, counselor, and mental health enthusiast living in Houston, Texas. I created the Allow Yourself Grace podcast because I wanted to create a space for Black women to share their thoughts, feelings, and stories that make them who they are without fear of judgment. Allow Yourself Grace provides emotional support and encouragement within the Grace Girls community for women in need of non biased opinions from women other than family and friends. Personal development, self care, career, faith are among many of the topics we will discuss on this platform. Allow Yourself Grace podcast is here to encourage Black women to live unapologetically and thrive in being authentically who they are and were designed to be an entire vibe. No topics are off limits. We will cover it all. Now, grab a notebook, pen, sit back, and enjoy the show. What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. I'm super excited. Y'all know I have a guest. I told you I was bringing on some amazing guests this season, so I'm excited about the guest that I have on. Before we introduce her, make sure that you hit that notification bell and that you are subscribed to the channel if you are watching on YouTube. If you're listening, please make sure you follow the podcast. And also, guys, leave me a review. Let me know what you want to hear, what you want to see if you're watching. And yeah, so we can make it happen. Because those reviews matter. That helps me get visible. So go ahead and leave me a review. So now let me introduce my guest. Well, y'all know I like to have the guests introduce themselves because I don't want to miss anything. So introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, my name is Ariana Simmons. I am a creative entrepreneur. So I do a little bit of everything, ranging from project management, digital marketing. I do hair, I do braids.
I just discovered that at our last meetup. Yes.
Yes, I do whatever I feel like doing at the time.
I love it. I like how you said creative entrepreneur. Because that's so important because sometimes you can get like caught in just doing like one thing and not really tapping into all the things that you're good at. So how do you like keep yourself intact with everything that you are good at? Because you're good at a lot of things.
I go with the flow, and it's something that I'm just now tapping into. So for so long, I was going with the flow of like, the structured corporate world and all of that. So it wasn't up until right before the pandemic that I got a taste of that work at home life. So I was able to slow down and pump my brakes.
Right.
And I was also pregnant with him at the time. So I was trying to, keep myself busy and find stuff to do. So I got back into painting. I got back into drawing.
Love it.
And yeah.
Oh, so you paint.
Yes.
See, we're discovering new things. She's very creative. So, like she said, she does hair. She does her bag. When we were talking when we met up, she's like, "Oh, I painted this bag." She just said it so casually, and I'm like, "Girl, that bag is cute. Like, what? You should have recorded that." So I've been on her about like recording what she's doing, just because it's so amazing to see that you can do so many things.
Thank you.
When did you discover that you were good at like all these things?
When I was younger. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of crafts when I was younger. I used to like to get into a lot of things. I used to love music. I played in band too.
Oh wow, what'd you play?
I played flute and I played tenor drum and marching band. Yes.
The flute.
Yes.
I played the clarinet.
Nice.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I liked it. I stayed in there all the way until like freshman year, and then I was like, nah, I want to do something else. So yeah. That was gone. My mom was so mad. They paid for that clarinet. You have to buy the little reeds for the girls.
I used to always watch them clipping the reeds and
you
all.
had to buy those. Yeah.
Yes.
Whole crazy mess. I think, and I love that
that you tapped into it and you stayed tapped into your creativity. Because I think, and my husband and I were having this conversation this morning, like growing up in the Black community and Black families, sometimes when you're wanting to do a lot of different things, it's kind of like, no, you need to go to work, or, oh, you should go to school and get a job, but what about all the other things that I'm good at?
Right.
You know, so then we tend to like not really practice those skills and talents. Girl, this girl was so guys, y'all know we hosted a podcast gala. We say gala in Texas. And she came, and I'm like, girl, you could have been singing, because what? So my big idea for the event is to start to incorporate more live things. Nice. So this first year was like a test. Yes. So we had the live painter, we had the comedian, we had the little picture thing going on, but like every year we're wanting to add more live things. So we've already been in contact. Well, he came here the other day. He's a hip hop violinist. He was on my husband's podcast. Coming up in his new season. I'm sorry, I'm dropping gems for y'all. But it's coming up in the new season of his podcast. But he's really, really good. So we're gonna probably try to have him next year. So like, okay, girl, you might be on the program.
I would love to.
I didn't know you can sing.
Let's talk.
I used to sing too, though.
Nice.
That's fun fact. I grew up singing. Really? Yeah, in a church and just going to different places with the church and singing. So
you got one of the soulful voices.
Yeah, I do. Like it. Yeah, most people are like, oh my God, they can kind of tell by the way you talk, I guess. And so I'm like, yeah, but I don't really do it anymore. Other than like in the car, you know.
You ever thought about getting into it?
I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you need to be practicing like almost every day. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to practice or either have like a vocal coach.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's why, I don't know if you've seen T.I. and Tiny's daughter, her Eris. Girl, she's like 5, maybe 6. Sing.
Oh wow.
Like, wow. But they're cultivating that gift. Like, she said she wanted to do it and they're like, okay. And she has a vocal coach. She sung at one of the basketball games. Like they're getting her in all these. She was in the children's Christmas choir in LA and she led a song. Like, so they're really. So I just love when parents like take the time to really just like cultivate and nurture what their kids want to do.
Yes.
So that's why I asked you, like, what age did you like really start to tap into it, and were your parents like on board with it, or they were just kind of like, whatever you want to do?
Yes, somewhat. My mom used to, that was my chauffeur, so I needed her to always take me to, you know, to rehearsals and everything else after school or whatever. But I didn't really get any opposition for the most part. It was just mostly just getting pushed to that stability. So I did, you know, kind of reel back that creative brain for a while to go into the workplace and to, you know, keep that job, that monotonous life. I'm sorry, I know it works for some people.
Let's talk about that. I want to get into it. I love that because I'm in a space where I'm kind of like, man, I am really, because I really work for myself, but at the same time, I'm like, I just want like a period of time where you just have time to just be creative.
Exactly.
And the difference is, I want to talk about the difference. So you've been in corporate, you've been to a place where you had to clock in. Talk about the difference. Because they hear it from me all the time. But talk about the difference in having that freedom.
It's so much better, because when you go into an office, it's like you have to put on this mask. You have to be, you know, this representative for this company, this entity, or whoever you work for, and you don't have a chance to really think for yourself.
Right.
You know, you're going with the flow of what works for them, not what works for you.
And it's all day.
All day. And by the time you get off, guess what? You're tired. You know, that's why happy hours are a thing. And they're big, because people want to get off and turn the brain off.
Yeah.
You don't want to go home and let me think about what I can do to make me happy, or what can I do to be creative, you know?
But then you don't have time to pour into you.
Right.
Like you said, like you don't have the energy. And so I'm like,
not at all.
When do people see, and I'm not saying that everybody's a creative or an entrepreneur. And I always tell people like, maybe you're not, but I just believe we're all created to do something that only you can do.
Exactly.
Right?
I feel like we're here to recreate. Like you're supposed to relax and to be in a state of mind to continue to produce things that make you happy, that can bring other people joy, that can bring us together. Who knows?
Right. And ultimately, it's going to bring you profit.
Yes.
That's just how it flows.
Yep.
And that's how it was meant to be. But everybody lives in this microwave, I want it right now type mentality. And it's like, okay, if you get that salary you're looking for right now, but what about later when you want more?
Exactly.
And the company can cap what you make. But when you're an entrepreneur, creative, you determine that.
Exactly.
And so don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but it's the freedom for me of the time and I make my own schedule. I can go work over here. I can do what I want to do.
Exactly. You can get up and make a snack when you want to. Go to the bathroom without it being a problem. You know what I'm saying?
When I was a teacher, I was like, man, I feel like I'm in elementary myself because I have to wait till somebody comes to go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Like I have to literally call the office and be like, I need to go to the bathroom. Or tell my partner teacher, hey, can you stick your head out while I go to the bathroom? Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
It is crazy how when you really sit back and look how the system is designed and how we were just raised to do life a certain way.
Yes.
And it just stifles your creativity.
It does.
Yeah, I really believe
really
that.
does. Yeah. And I'm thankful that I'm in a space now, especially being a mom, that I can not have to just throw my child off to a daycare all day.
Because it's literally all day.
Literally all day, yes.
And they have your kid, if your kid goes to daycare, they literally have them longer than you do. And that's crazy.
Right.
That's insane. I used to work at a daycare and I used to be like, man, that is so like some parents will drop off at 6 a.m. They may get off at 4 or 5, but they don't get back to pick them up until closing because of traffic.
Exactly.
And then it's like go home, eat, take a bath, and come back and let's do this shit again the next day.
Boom. And that's it.
That's crazy.
Yes. It's like a never ending cycle.
Yeah.
And you feel like you lose yourself more and more. I remember getting to a point where I was just like dreading going into that office every day.
Wow.
It just drained everything out of me. It was just like, so it was, it's uncomfortable. It's cold. You're sitting in this little cubicle.
Wow. Boring.
Boring. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it for what it was at the time.
Yeah.
It was stable income. And it kept me sustained all those years I needed it. So I appreciate it for what it was. But I definitely outgrew it.
Do you believe that some things are only for a season?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some things are definitely just for a season.
So change is okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was something I struggled with before. Change would freak me out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change is scary, but I think when you're creative, you get bored easily. Yes. So it makes the decision a little easier because you're like, no, I can't keep doing this shit.
Right. And I think that's why I am like this now. Because I'm like, I'm able to use a different part of my brain now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I find that like my friends that I've had, and they're still my friends, like we're cool. We hang out all the time, but it's like on certain conversations I can't have with them because they don't understand that side. And it's crazy because they want to get to that side. I can tell because I hear they're people complain about where they work, what they're doing, they're feeling lost, stuff like that. And it's like if they could only see the bigger picture. But then I have friends like you and Angelica and other people, and they're just like go-getters.
Right.
And I think I need the balance because when I go with them, it's like a reminder that heck no, I gotta stay over here.
Right.
And it's nothing bad. Like they have their houses, they're doing great in their careers, but it's like, man, I don't want to get in that energy of, oh, gotta go to work. Because that was the conversation last Sunday. Like, man, I'm off. I want to stay out because I'm off. And I'm like, girl, I could be off every day if I want. Like, I can do what I want.
Yes.
So it's just a little like different. So I want to talk about how important it is to have people around you that are just as innovative and creative as you are.
Yeah. So
that's like a loaded question, for real.
Yes, I think it's so important to make sure that you surround yourself with people who can help you grow. Mm-hmm. And I had to learn that, and I think a lot of people do have to learn that the hard way, because we get comfortable with certain ways that we are raised, and we attract those same kinds of personalities. And those, I feel like those personalities kind of keep us in a bubble, and especially Black. Sorry.
We do.
We have very harsh family backgrounds sometimes.
We do.
Like, putting down your children is normal. Embarrassing your children is normal. Physically disciplining your children is normal.
Shaming
your children is normal. Yeah. So that's a lot of stuff that I struggled with, honestly, with attracting those same people who projected those same emotions, the same feelings onto me. And so I started to feel that way about myself too. When you keep surrounding yourself with negativity, you're gonna absorb it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it makes you angry, it makes you bitter. And people start to say, "Oh, well, you're mean." And it's like, no, I just don't want to be around that energy.
Exactly.
And it's like when the energy is around you, you're just like, ugh, it's frustrating.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And when you finally step back and get out of that space and find better people to surround yourself with. I think it wasn't until maybe about last summer where I started meeting people that I can actually sit and have conversations with. You know what I'm saying? And I started meeting Angelica and y'all. And, you kind of look back at everybody that you surrounded yourself with before, and you have compassion for them, because you know that people are still hurting. Everybody grew up and had a certain type of upbringing, and it affected everybody in different ways, clearly, with all the different personalities we had.
Yeah.
And you kind of have compassion for them, because everybody moves at different paces, heal at different paces.
That's true.
And it might not even be in some people's cards and right now to heal themselves. You know what I'm saying? That you have to, respect where everybody is on their journey.
Yeah.
So I feel for the people I dealt with before.
Yeah.
But I love from afar.
Yeah.
Because I realized what it did to me mentally, emotionally. They don't realize that certain, behaviors or things that we grew up with thinking is normal is actually abuse.
It is. It definitely is. And I just hate when people the people that are inflicting the abuse on you, like they don't see it. Like they don't see their part. They don't see what they've done wrong. So it's up to you, like you said, to love them from afar. Like, I forgive you, but I'm going to stay over here.
Right.
And just keep being great over here.
Exactly.
And you can keep watching, because normally they're watching and they're having conversations. Right. Yeah, they're having conversations about it. So the streets are always talking, and we know it. And we're just going to keep being great. So I just love meeting new people that can, bring great energy. My husband was asking, he's like, "Oh, so what does Ariana do?" I'm like, "Ariana does everything." She does like this and that. He's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, she's very creative." But I'm just learning these things about her, because just like you see her now, like she's very chill and very just easygoing. And so I want to know, like, how'd you create that vibe for yourself? Like that energy that you have, because I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it.
Let me tell you, it started with therapy. Therapy, okay,
girl.
Therapy.
That therapy is something serious. Y'all see how the topic keeps coming up about therapy every episode? Because man,
it's real.
It's real. It's real. And if you haven't been, I think everybody needs to go at least once.
At least once, because they're able to tap into. Even if it's just one session for 30 minutes, you might be able to tap into some stuff that you didn't even know that you needed to release.
When I say triggered,
yes.
Triggered.
Yes. Yeah, and I was so thankful the therapist that I had, she sent me home with homework after every session.
Don't y'all say nothing. We talked about that homework stuff.
Man.
Y'all, I don't want to see nothing in the comments, because whatever, I'm working on it, okay? I don't do my homework.
You don't do your homework?
They know that.
Oh,
I'm working on it.
At the time, I really didn't have I felt like I didn't have a choice. Because I felt like I was in this very dark hole that I was just scratching to get out.
You just needed some guidance to get out. I
needed guidance. I was like, I need to do better, so I need to know better. Just help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she taught me a lot about journaling, scripting. Yeah, I write so much. I don't know how many notebooks I have filled up.
Oh, wow.
Since I started working with her.
When is the book coming out?
Soon.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. It's in the works.
I love it, y'all. Y'all gonna have... Okay, the next time we sit on this couch, we're both gonna have our book out.
We will.
Okay, because
I'm working. Hold each other accountable.
I'm working. I feel... Yeah, we're gonna look. We're gonna text each other. Right. Hey, how many pages did you write today? What chapter you on? For real, we need to, because mine has been in the works since last year, and I'm not done. And I was like, okay. Normally in January, it's like a lot of events going on for me, but my husband was like, babe, and I said, I know. I'm like, it's time to lock in for the next, like, until my birthday in May. I gotta lock in, because it's like, I gotta get my stuff done, y'all. So it's good to have friends that are doing things that you're doing, or they have goals too, and they kind of like share them, so you can have that accountability partner.
Oh, yes.
Did you make a vision board this year?
I did.
You did?
I did.
What do you have on your vision board?
What don't I have on my vision board?
Okay.
I feel like I'm starting it from scratch, like with everything. My whole mindset, like everything that I was before, I'm not now. And I love that. Okay. Yes, I love it.
Sometimes you gotta clean the slate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have office ideas, because I feel like a space is what
you need.
Is what you need. You need a space that you're comfortable in, that you can retreat and relax.
Yeah.
I'm big on yoga and meditation.
Okay.
So I have places I want to go. Sedona, Arizona is on my list.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I want to travel.
I love
especially with my little one. He's ready to get on an airplane. He told me that I have to get on a plane and he has to get on the helicopter.
Okay.
So I'm like,
he got goals.
He got goals.
And mommy's going to make them happen. Because that's what y'all do. I mean, mothers are so amazing. They go all out for their children. And I love it. Y'all, her baby y'all saw him. He's so well-mannered. Like, he's like, you're welcome. Yes, ma'am. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I'm the type of person that I don't even think that's mandatory. Like, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. I don't. My nieces and nephews, they're just like, yes. Some of them do say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, if they're around my grandparents, because they love that. But I mean, I just love when kids you can tell they're being taught. Like, no matter how they're being taught, just if they're being taught positive, healthy ways to interact with people. I love that.
Thank you.
Because it's easy for kids to pick up things that are unhealthy when, like you talked about earlier, people are unhealed and they're just like projecting all these things.
Yes.
And they don't realize that they're doing it because their parents did it.
Exactly.
And it's like, we got to start changing that. And so I love how she's actually taking the time to change that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy. And it makes you face your own crap. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times I feel like when people feel triggered to, yell at the kids or hit the kids, it's a lack of self-control, a lack of patience. And
it's true.
Get to the root of why they're behaving the way they're behaving.
Yeah.
And
y'all know she's talking my language. No, I work with kids, so I love that. No, I love that. And I think parent coaching is needed. And so, not saying that the person's an expert, but if someone can provide like insight on how to do this in a simpler way, because you're yelling and you arguing with a 3-year-old.
Right.
Is that, and then when I say it out loud, you're like, oh,
right.
You retreat back to being a kid. And so I think it's just people learning and being open to learning.
Yes. Yeah. And being open to communication. That was something that I struggled with as well. Because you're not able, in a lot of households, you're not able to really speak up. You're not able to say how you feel. It's just like, do this because I said so. And if you go against it, you're being disrespectful.
Don't say why.
Right.
You might get slapped.
Don't ask questions.
Yep.
You know, you're being disrespectful, you're talking back and all that. Me and that kid have conversations. Like,
because kids want to know.
Yes.
And I'm sure he's always like, but why?
Right.
Because it is like, because, oh, okay. Like, most of the time they get it. Like, and if they don't get it, they may think about it for a little bit and they're going to come with a follow-up.
Exactly.
And I love it because that's going to, that translates to the classroom, really, because in class, they're not going to be afraid to ask questions.
Right.
They're not going to be able to afraid, like, I need help, you know, they're not going to feel like, well, I can't ask anybody because they might yell at me.
Right.
You know, like, let me just be quiet.
About all of that. I think about all of that with him. And even when he's older, you know, I think about how he could handle his friendships, how he can handle his relationships or whatever he's getting into, you know, being open to listening to people. I'm able to tell him if something's bothering me, son, I need you to chill out. You know, that's bothering mommy right now. Right. Okay, I understand. And he can tell me the same thing. Okay, I understand.
Sometimes it's embarrassing because you're like, did you have to tell me that right now in front of all these people?
Oh, yeah, I'm always embarrassing him. And he'll tell me, Mommy, I need you to be quiet. My bad, bro. Because I'm always talking to him.
But people can take that the wrong way, though, depending on how they grew up. Like, your kid's telling you to be quiet?
Oh, yeah.
You know, what? You know?
He's right. They're humans.
They're humans.
And they're learning.
But why are you offended? Right. My nephew had a situation the other day. My sister's like, I picked him up because I was like, how's he been doing in school? He's in 5th grade. But she's like, oh, I looked at his folder. It's like a paragraph. So we're like, hey, what's going on? What happened? And he's like, oh, well, we had a party. I didn't want to go into the party. So my teacher said I could stay outside. So I was outside and another teacher comes out and said, hey, we want to come in? No, I'm okay. My teacher said I could stay here. Great. Brings out snacks, right? The teacher's like, oh, well, I had extra snacks. Would you like a snack? He says yes. His teacher, because he didn't want to go in the party, I guess she was like a little upset that he didn't want to go inside. And so she says, give me the snacks. Where'd you get those? And he's like, well, the teacher gave it to me. She said I could have it. He's eating them, by the way. No, give it to me. And so he's like, no, I'm already eating it.
Right.
And she's like, give it to me. And he's like, no. And so it just goes back and forth, but she's arguing with him and he's just like, I'm not giving it to you. And so that's what she wrote in the folder. And I said, what was your response as a parent? And my sister's like, well, I was just like, this is so petty, but whatever. I just signed the folder and sent it back. But that's what he said. And I was like, I would have probably had to have a conversation with her because I'm like, that's a little weird that you're arguing with when he's 10. But I'm like, you're arguing with him for what?
What are you needing to have control over? And that was like, it's like a lack of control in that situation triggered her.
Yeah. And I find that in a lot of, for me being in the schools, teachers, they struggle with that. And so I think having people who are trained to come in and really teach on empathy and how to deal with kids is important because they miss that piece.
Yes.
Because it's like, I want to control this classroom. I want to control you. I want you to do what I say. But it's like, if you just gave them choice and freedom, your life would be so much easier. So then I'm getting calls like, hey, can you come over here? And I'm like, sure. And I go over there. It's 5 seconds. You're good.
You know,
because it's just a conversation. What happened? Why did it happen? You know, like a simple conversation, but you don't want to hear them out. Like, give kids voice and choice. Yes. So if y'all need help, message her.
I would love to.
Don't message me.
I would love to.
No, but that's something you should start thinking about because I call it gentle parenting. Like, just being gentle and like.
Yeah, and it could be gentle parenting or simply just treating the child like a human.
That too.
Treating them like a human being and treating them the way you would have wanted someone to treat you when you were that age.
And not feeling like your only job is to buy them clothes.
Or to keep them
and to
clothed.
Feed them.
Yeah, keep them clothed and fed.
And you're a good parent. That doesn't make you a good parent. You
have to really invest your time.
And kids are in their rooms. They're on their iPads for 20 hours. Like, as long as you're quiet, I'm good.
Yeah.
No. And that's not good. Like, the interaction needs to happen. Oh, yes. Okay, let's talk a little bit about being a single mom. because you're still highly, highly creative, effective. You're a great mom, but being a single parent can be difficult to balance entrepreneurship, creativity, all the things that you do. You're raising your son. How do you do it?
I go with the flow. I try to go with the flow. I really can't. I have like a structure for the most part for a week. Like I'll structure the week out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to pick days where I'm either focused on working or a project or something I'm doing, or I have days where I'm strictly focused on keeping him entertained and outside, wearing him out, burning up some energy. You know, we homeschool, so we do his projects, his home projects. So, yeah, it's just a matter of planning out my week, planning out what I need to get done,
And
and then sticking to it for the most part, but just also finding that balance and just going with the flow.
Right.
I let him lead most of the time.
I love it.
And it works.
I love it. I love it. So is he pretty like, Mom, we have to do this, we have to do that? Is he kind of like now he's on a little routine of it, or?
Yes, but no. Like some days he'll wake up and he'll want to just relax.
Okay.
Some days he'll wake up and he wants to go and do a project or a craft, or we got to go paint or
I love
whatever.
it.
Yeah, like one morning we woke up and we had balloons left over from New Year's. And he wanted to wake up and we made paper mache balloons with his construction paper.
I love
so we always just find like little stuff to do to keep him busy.
But that cultivates critical thinking. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, like, let me figure out how to do this. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. And I feel that keeping him, instead of trying to keep him occupied, I try to keep him like more involved. And I feel like that helps me a lot. So like when I'm working at my desk, he'll want to come sit under my desk with me. So I'll make his little spot right under me because I have a standing desk. Make his little spot under me. He'll come and chill. Or if I'm cooking, I love to cook. But if I'm cooking, he wants to come in the kitchen. I want to make dough, or I want to hold an egg.
Like he want to help.
Yeah, so I feel like keeping them involved really helps.
That's good. That's good. You should think about it though. Look, I'm putting her another business idea out here. I'm like, you really think about coaching because what? People need help because I mean it's difficult.
It is.
But I like how you give him the choice and the freedom. Like, and you're also teaching him self-care within that, because on the days that he's like, yeah, not today. Like, I'm gonna just relax for a little bit.
Yes.
People need to know that that's okay. Like,
it's
sometimes you're tired.
Yes, and that was one thing that I love my mom used to do with us. If we woke up one day and didn't feel like going to school, go lay down.
Okay.
No big deal.
I love that. Yeah, because you're not missing that much. But yeah.
Not at all.
I love it. I love it. So moving forward, what are your plans? Like, what do you have big that's coming up for you? Like, you're really, really focused on for the year 2024?
I'm working on a lot of, so along the lines of, you know, parenting and everything. I'm working a lot with building curriculum for homeschool. Because I feel like it's a lot easier than what people realize.
Okay.
And so I've been working on step by step and building out curriculum for him so that I'm able to translate it over for others.
I love it. No, I love it. And think about adding that SEO piece in there, the social and emotional piece, because that's the piece. It needs to be happening at home as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely something you should think about. My brain's going, by the way. Because I'm like,
see, that's what happens. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. Because I've always wanted to open like a daycare, like a school. I wouldn't call it a daycare, but I would say a school.
Yeah.
And so I was just thinking, like, I think if it started at a younger age, it would translate over when kids transition into school, because I've encountered a lot of kids, they come straight from home to school, which is great, but they haven't had the basis. Parents aren't doing what you're doing at home. And so then they come, and if you don't have the social and emotional piece down, you're not going to get the academic piece down. And you're coming with nothing. Like, you don't know your letters, you can't write your name, you can't think critically. And so those gaps are harder to close.
Yes.
And so that's amazing that you're doing that. Because I don't like, and my thing was too, because I worked at daycares, like all through college, all through high school. And the thing was, we're babysitting. And I was at some of them, not all of them, But I don't like that because I'm
Right.
like, they're here all day. Like, we're not gonna do activity.
Right.
Like, so
And they're at those impressionable ages. Like their
yeah,
brains are sponges. They take in
everything. So it just takes a little time
Right.
to just teach little, because you see how they pick up stuff on like YouTube or the cartoons that they're watching. That's why you have to be very careful about what they're watching, because
Oh,
they're
yes.
gonna absorb it all.
Mhm.
And it's the cartoons narrow crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And their vision, you see so many little kids with glasses now.
Yes.
We didn't wear I didn't get
Yes.
glasses until I was like high school.
Same.
So I was like, wow. You see like babies with glasses.
Yes.
That's not, I'm like, that's because all this screen time. They be like this on the little phones. And I'm like, man, y'all know how to work with everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. He'll get mad at me because I'll be standing over him like, what is this? What are you watching? I need to see this.
He's like, I got this.
I'm like, if it's too wild, turn it off.
Okay. I love it. No, I love it. And I love the curriculum that you're building. It's gonna be great. I could just see it. I'm like thinking, I'm like, that's a great idea. I love that.
It's something I'm really passionate about, so it's easy for me to work on. So I love that that I have the freedom to be able to work on it.
And you were building an app, right? You were helping build an app?
I was writing content for an app, for a startup.
What kind of app was it?
It was kind of like a food app.
Okay.
So it's made to pre-order food like at outdoor events and festivals. So where you don't have to just wait in those long lines. So that's what it was.
So like each business will be able to be on there?
Yes.
And then you could just see their menu and order?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And that's just go walk up and pick up what is ready and not have to wait.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
I love that. I would have never thought about that. So you were like designing all the how it looks and all that?
Yes, the verbiage and suggesting the layouts and everything for them. Yes. So I actually got with them through Full Sail University.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are you looking to do? Are you looking to continue to kind of spread in all areas, or are you looking to just focus on one big thing?
I'm still looking to spread in all areas. I'm still looking to explore. One thing I do want to start working on next is my music as well.
Okay.
Is getting back into music.
I gotta hear it. I'm excited. I asked her that question because I hear it, and I'm sure you hear this a lot. Like people say, "Oh, you need a niche down. You need a niche down."
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, I don't feel the need to just confine myself to one or two things or a few things.
Right.
I feel like there's enough.
Right.
There's enough room.
So the man that comes into your life, how's he gonna fit into all this that you have going on? What are you looking for? Like, what would you say the top 5 qualities you're looking for in that man that can fit into your creative entrepreneur / super mommy journey? I'm giving her a whole title, y'all.
I need him to understand that I take my parenting seriously. That I love to communicate. I need to talk about everything, because if you leave a space for me to wonder, and I figure out my own situation, it might not be okay.
So you need somebody to critically think with you.
Yes.
Like, let's work this out. Let's talk about it.
Yes. Okay. Talk to me. Talk. I'm all about communication. And I feel like that's a problem that I've had in previous relationships. And I've been a part of the problem. I own that too. So so yeah, that's something that is very important to me. Honesty is super important to me. I want to be able to trust in, my partner's leadership. And yeah, I think the trust is one of the biggest things that I'm gonna have to work on.
Yeah,
because I know there are a lot of things that I've healed, but there are a lot of things that I won't heal until I'm actually in a relationship again. And, child.
That trust Peace is hard. I
It
think
is.
I think though when you meet the right person, you it starts to change because they start to earn your trust. Like they start to like step up. Even when you're in doubt, they'll step up and prove like, don't doubt me, I got this.
See, and I feel like that's what I'm gonna need, because I haven't even really been thinking about relationships.
And that's good, because when you're not thinking about it, that's when it normally happens for you. Like the right person. When you're not even thinking, we're like, man, don't come over here with that.
Yeah.
Like, come correct in your head. Like, don't even come play with me.
Just let
That's
me be in
normally...
peace. Unless you're coming ready to be serious.
Yeah, because that's when I'm telling you, when I met my husband, we met online. I was on this website and I'm like, I'm about to get off of here. These people crazy, because there's some creepy people on those websites, y'all. And so I just had a message and I ended up checking it and it was from him. And so I was like, look, I'm about to get off of here. If you want to talk, here's my number. And so we talked outside of there because, it just turned into something else. But because I had been married before, so I was like, if you ain't, I don't even want to do this with you. Like, what's going on? But he was simple. He didn't come with the fluff. He was just like, do you want to go out to lunch? Can we go and have a conversation? So that was it.
I love that.
And we were dating and we ended up married. But it happens when you're not even thinking, like, I'm swearing, when you just like, I'm done with dating. That's when it normally happens.
That's the mindset I've been in. That's why when you ask me that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think about it. I really don't.
But for you, it's a little bit more difficult because you got to think about your son too.
Right.
And somebody that's going to be good for him. That's a conversation I have with my sister because she's single and she has a son. And I'm just like, you're not only thinking about yourself.
Right.
And you're thinking about, man, I don't want to keep bringing people in and out of this, my kid's life. Like, it's like, who is this? Who is that? And it's like, it becomes too much. And so that's something for you guys. I think y'all have to be extra meticulous because you're raising young men and they're watching. And even if you have girls, I mean, but it's like, you have to be more aware of what's going on and aware of the things that you're doing, because it's like, nah, you ain't ready to meet my kid. Like, nah, you're not ready. I gotta see. Let's go on a few dates first before you meet my kid.
Right.
Because especially in today's society, it's so like, let me meet him, y'all. Bring him over here so I can meet him before y'all introduce him to y'all's kids.
Yes. It's wild. It is
wild.
Not the dating. I really don't feel like I'm meant for this dating world right now, because it is so wild. Like, you meet people who want your time, but they don't want to, give you that effort of letting you know why they want your time. So it's just like,
they're not mature enough.
Yeah, it's just like, why are we doing this? Why are you on my line? Why are you texting me?
You for sure you definitely need somebody mature, because you give me the vibes of like, I was a kid but I was wise but young my years. So it's like, you're probably already like 10 steps ahead of where, and it takes men longer to mature. And they say they want things, but especially in our age range, sometimes they're just not mature.
They're not. And I also feel like certain personalities can trigger things in other people. So they might go into it feeling like, okay, I'm ready to try to, court or whatever you want to call it. And then they might bump into a personality that's a little too much for them, and they realize, I ain't ready for this.
They're not ready. Yeah.
And they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. I think women, though, are Black women, and I might get canceled, but we have to learn how to be soft. And I think that's something I had to learn. It's just, a man don't want another man, basically. I'm going to say a heterosexual man. Let's say that. They don't want somebody that's going to be combative and like snappy and like, and so we have to be careful as alpha women to like, okay, I don't have to do all that.
Yes.
Because I have an alpha male. Like, I don't have to take on all this. Because sometimes we take it on because we're naturally like, I got it.
And I love that you said that too, because I feel like it's so hard for us to scale back. And to, like you said, soften up.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, when the right person, that's what I keep reminding myself. When the right person does come along, I won't have a problem. Right. I won't have a problem just melting and being like, okay,
yeah, you got
hush
it.
and I'll sit down. Because for so long, you know, like when we're in that alpha and that kind of masculine energy, we attract, or we could attract people, you know, who have deeper issues and who need that mama in us, and we turn into that.
Yep, the man that lets you take charge.
Yes.
No,
that's not okay.
That's not okay. My husband will be like, "Yeah, no." Yeah. I hate when he tell me no too. I'll be like, but
that's what we
need
though.
that, because if not, I will run all. Girl, I'll be ready. Like, boy, don't tell me nothing.
Right.
But
we're not here to be mamas.
Right. And so I think that's something that a lot of us have to learn. And I had to learn for sure. It's like, girl, okay, just bring it back.
Yes.
It's okay. Let him do that.
Yeah.
So that's
when somebody actually takes me out of that energy, I might cry.
Right.
I might cry.
Right. Because you seem like, I got it. I'm just going to take charge. And that's just what we do. But it's amazing when you're just like, whoa, okay, you're cooking tonight. Or you made sure we had food tonight. I don't got to. Yeah. Because it's not that I don't love doing it. It's just like sometimes I want you to think about that. I don't want to think about that tonight.
Oh, yeah. So, to have the luxury to turn your brain off.
Yeah, because I like when he does it out of the blue. Like, it's not planned. You just went ahead and did that. So those are the things that I think as women, we got to learn how to let men, just to see what they're going to do. If they can do it, especially if you're really, really at a place where you're so mature and you're just like, look, I ain't got time for the BS. Right. You gotta go through some tests. Yeah. And that's okay, man. Yes. It's okay. Cause y'all don't be, it's a lot of y'all out here be tripping. I swear y'all be tripping. Y'all be tripping. Okay. We're gonna start to wrap up. What's the little thing I like to ask people if they have any questions for me. Ooh. For the end of the episode.
I don't know. I don't think I have a question, but good. we're gonna circle back on that counseling, parental counseling thing.
Yes, we're gonna definitely, y'all gonna see some stuff being done. Sure. This year. Yeah, we taking action. It's
gonna be a big year this year.
It is. I really do. It's gonna be a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
But I think when we circle back to this time, 2025, we're like, man, we got so much accomplished this year.
I even feel like by the time we get to y'all's second
to the gala,
oh, we're gonna be looking at January like we stepped on that shit, like for real.
Yes, y'all, man, she was the one in the maroon dress.
Oh yes,
for y'all guys, that was like on my nerves. That was her. Y'all can go follow her now. I'm gonna have her Instagram. Oh, goodness. Your Instagram's private.
It is. Oh, it was. It is.
Is it? I think it is.
I took it down.
Was it because the corporate is why you had it private, or just because you wanted it private?
I took it down private. I think because I was planning on redoing it. Okay. Or cleaning it up.
Yeah, because we need to know what you do. Maybe you could put it on like some of your work on TikTok. Yes. Your crafts and stuff.
Instagram is just like.
It is.
But I depressing.
It is. It's becoming.
Instagram is so depressing.
It's so, I don't know. If you're not posting like reels on Instagram, it's kind of like, because pictures are becoming obsolete. So, but the good thing is when you do create reels, you could create them and just post them on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing for our podcast. I'm thinking about starting another one for just me, like some stuff I want to do. But I just schedule them and let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like I was telling Angelica last time, you can use them as shorts too. So I think reels are like the thing if you're going to be doing content.
That's something I need to do better with, because I never think about just making content.
Yeah. You can record with your son, like little projects that y'all are doing. I see people do it all the time. And they like all the stuff that they're using, if they got it from Amazon, they're tagging it. Because people are going to buy it. And you get your affiliate off of it. So it's like different ways to do it. But I would definitely look into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since you're already doing it.
Right.
How you build his little, while you're working under his, like all that. Oh, yes. People love stuff like that. For real, they do. I'm telling you.
I have to get it.
Everything's content.
Yes.
I'm talking to myself too.
Yeah. Like I wasn't really into social media or like even taking pictures for so long. I don't even think I took pictures of myself for like years.
Oh wow.
I was that type of
gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm like that too. I mean, my husband has to he'll document everything. So I'm like, but I'm gonna get better too. We're gonna get better.
Yes.
Taking pictures.
We're gonna keep holding each other accountable.
Yeah. She's gorgeous. If y'all need y'all's hair braided, she does braids. She paints. She sings. But go follow her because she won't tell y'all her Instagram, but I'm gonna have it on the screen for y'all.
Yes. And I'll have my website and everything linked to it.
Yes. In case
you can see everything that I have working on. Tap in.
Because this is really how she is. Like, I literally had to ask her, like, what do you do? Like, she ain't gonna tell me. I gotta ask. See what I'm saying?
Always.
So, yeah. Well, any last words for the people before we end the episode?
I don't know. This was nice. This was my first. Yes.
Okay, I tried to make you feel comfortable.
I was nervous. Yes, this was my first one. I was nervous. But this was really nice. This was fun.
I like my show to be comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not with I don't think I'm trying to have a talk show. I think you have people who want like a show, like a talk show, and then the podcast. Because I think they're different.
They are different.
Yeah, they're different.
And I feel like this is it's a comfortable environment. Well, you bring out, you let people be their authentic selves, and that's what we need.
Yeah,
that's what this world needs, okay?
That's what the world needs. More authenticity.
Yes, please. Just be yourself.
Be genuine.
Because I promise you, no matter what it is, it's going to be okay. Just be yourself. It's not... I see so many copy and pastes and like carbon copies of everything and like styles and hairstyles, just personalities. And you see it looks nice. And maybe my eyes are just different, but I look at certain people and I feel like you're not happy. You look great, but this is not you.
Yeah.
So I love when there are spaces and even channels that people can watch where they feel like, okay, these people, they're cool, they're chill.
They're normal.
Normal, right. Yeah. You don't feel the need to have all the fluff and
and don't get us wrong, like makeup's great, all this is great, but like some days I come on here and y'all probably it was one episode I did a week ago and I was like, man, my beautician didn't have any availability, but I'm like, I have to record because I have somebody coming.
Yeah.
And so I listened to another podcast and she kind of talked about this. She was like, this year we're showing up. We just got to show up. Like, you got to let people know that you don't have to have your hair done and makeup every time you come on camera. If you got a word or you got something you got to do, this is what you got to do. And it's okay.
Yes.
Because I do think that women feel like I have to have all this stuff before I can start. You know?
I struggled with that a lot.
Yeah, I'm happy that you said that though, because being yourself is just not the norm right now. It's like BBLs and, this and that, and I'm getting Botox and all these things, which is nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. But I don't want people to feel like they have to.
You have to, exactly.
Have that to show up and offer something to the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. I love it.
Yeah. Though that's a great note to end on. So y'all be yourself, operate and be authentically you, even when no one's watching, even when people are watching. Just be you. What I don't like is if I meet you in one space and then I see you in another space and you're like a totally different person, I'm like, I'm good.
Yes.
Yeah, because I just don't do well with that.
Yeah.
And for me, my face will say everything. If I'm thinking, you'll be like, what's she thinking? Because I'm looking, my face says everything. So I analyze everything. So my best bet is to just be like, nah, it's not good. It's not good for me. So just watch your surroundings. This year, 2024, I've been telling you guys to just make sure that you're equipped for the battles that's coming, because it's not necessarily, the vision board is great. Going to women empowerment events is great. Listening to podcasts is great. Consuming content is great. But you have to put all these things into action. And also, too, you have to be ready for it's not always going to be glitz and glam. Like this year, with the rewards are going to come more battles and more stress. And so I just encourage you guys to continue to pour into you and just be you and always be comfortable with who you are. And if you're not comfortable, then don't be afraid to get uncomfortable to get there. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank
Peace.
you.
Well, guys, that concludes our episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. For additional information about today's episode, please click the link in the show notes below. To learn more about our Grace Girls community and other resources we have to offer, head over to www.allowyourselfgrace.com. Until next time, Grace Girls, I love you all, be blessed, and continue to strive for success.